Alright, welcome back everybody. As you can see, the webcam is back and we're doing more VoxelSniper map making. Sort of VoxelSniper. Today, not VoxelSniper, but I have learned how to do some pretty cool things. So at this point, this is what we're up to on plugins. Vault, which we are using, sort of, not directly, but a little bit. PlotMe, which we are not using yet. Multiverse Core, which we are not using yet. Craft Economy 3, which we are. VoxelSniper, which we have used but won't be today. Buycraft, which we have not set up yet. Citizens, which we will be getting to today. And dtlTraders, which we'll be getting to today. So I think we're going to do more Citizens later, probably. But I'm currently just using dtlTraders. Which I don't know what the DTL stands for, but it is it needs citizens, so that's why we have citizens there. So I have a couple command blocks here, which is just because every time I reset the server, I get put back into survival mode, and the server gets put to not hard. So I just put this here so I can run over and jump on it when I log in. I could set it in the chain. You might say, well, Eddie, just go to the properties, change it then you're all set. And to that I say, hush. I'll do that at some point probably, but I was too lazy to do that today. So I have set up a shop. Now first things first, craft economy. I type in /money. That's how much money I have. I have 990,000 E-dollars, or Ed dollars, which is supposed to be an Ed joke. I might change that name. I might change up the currency completely later. It was kind of something that just popped into my head. It's kind of hard with my channel name for Twitch and YouTube being Ed Eddie Edster. I like the name, you know, Ed Ed and Eddie joke, sort of, and I like the name because it's my name, of course, but it's not, I can't really do many word play with it without me seeming like an arrogant guy who just wants everything to be Eddie. So maybe if you guys think of another clever name or something like that that's not quite so me focused, I'd like that, because I think it's kind of silly having everything be Ed. Anyways, so I gave myself $1 million and I spent 10,000 on something which we'll show you in a second. I gave myself a lot of money just so that we could buy and sell with the shop and stuff like that without having to get it through normal means, but normally you will need to sell things at the shop, which we will get to today. But first we're going to do some buying of the shops. So we will go over this very briefly and then I'll show you how to do it. So the plugins that are required for this one, I believe, are Craft Economy 3 or some form of economy plugin that adds money. Doesn't matter which, it could be any of them, I think. Vault, I think, is needed. Possibly. Citizens and dtlTraders. Those are the ones that are needed, what we're going to be using. So, here's the shop. I right click on the guy, it's a Steve skin. There is a way to get it to be player skins, but I did not take the time to set that up. I was good. I tried, I didn't see immediately how to do it. One thing that's really annoying about this plugin, the dtlTraders, which is the one that adds these player skins here that are the shops, is that there doesn't seem to be a command to call to remove them. So every time if I screw up something, or it's not how I want it, and it's not something that they can change, I have to shut down the server, delete the file associated with this guy, and then load it back up, which is kind of annoying. So anyways, let's get going. We've been talking for like 4 minutes now and haven't even touched it, so let's try it. So you can see we have prices here. 10,000 diamond dollars for diamond sword, 320 for a stack of arrows, a bow is 100, golden sword's 80, iron sword's 20. Right, so if I click, or 200 rather, 200, if I click this, see that I bought my iron sword. I now have an iron sword, and if I check if I do /money, my balance is now $200 less. So that's how that works, and this is fully customizable, all in-game, which is fantastic. All they need is a few more commands to add and remove and modify already existing shops, and I would say this is a flawless plugin that is really, really cool. So here I have an empty shop for the armor shop, which we'll probably set up today. But first, I want to start from the beginning with how you actually create these shops. So I added a floor to that other one, and I added a floor to this one here. So this over here, let's say, is going to be the block shop. So here's how I do it. I go into F5 mode ×2, right? So I can see my character, see how he's facing. And that is because when you create your player, certain things about your character are taken over, namely where they're looking at. I made a player while I was facing directly on the ground because I was trying to line up where I was, right, at the right spot. And then I just called the command right there, and the character was facing down. So just to double check to make sure that I don't do that again. Because again, it's a pain to get these guys removed. I'm gonna put my character here. I'm going to call the command trader create, and then I'm gonna put the name. So block shop. There he is. See, he's facing the same way we were facing. His body's a little different, but that's fine. And his name is block shop. Great. Go in the normal view now. Now, right click him and right. So you might get a different screen. Just get to the screen, go in and out of them until you get to this screen with the 4 different colors of wool on the bottom. If you don't see any of that, punch him. If you punch him, you see manager mode disabled, manager mode enabled, for block shop, right? So you want it to, the last one, you want it to say enabled, manager mode enabled. Now right click, you're going to see these 4 wheels. Unlock stock, limit management, price management, and sell stock. So next step is to gather all of what we want to sell here. Oh, those disappeared. Alright. For some reason, when you have them in manager mode, sometimes your inventory can be a little wonky. So actually, let's disable it for now and grab some stuff. So, blocks that are really valuable and hard to get, but maybe shouldn't be as hard to get, right? I'm going to say mossy cobblestone. I'm going to say packed ice, that's an important one. Nether quartz. Hay bales. What else is like a little tricky? Maybe glowstone, but not really. Glowstone's not so bad after silk touch and fortune and stuff. We can add more later. So let's just do this for now. So punch him to enable manager mode. Right click on him to open up the block shop, and then click this green wool for unlock stock. Now what that's going to do is it's going to make, we do it, now the other wool goes away and it's just this yellow wool here. That's going to make it so we can actually edit the shop. So just clicking and dragging stuff in here, or just getting stuff in here, you know, just like normal. You don't have to click and drag, just like normal. Click on it, yeah. It's going in. Now you notice that this, you know, there's no pricing options, there's no anything like that yet, and that's because that's all done in a very specific way that it took me a second to realize how it worked, but it's actually pretty simple and actually very cool. I really like it. So then when you're done here, click the yellow wool to lock the stock. Make sure you do that. Don't exit out, don't escape out. Do lock stock. And now the 4 wool is back, but this time you see your items in here. Next, you want to click the black one, price management, right? So we just did the stock management, now we're going to do the price management. And if you see, if I click on these items in the chat down here, it's saying the price is set to none, which is a little weird. Why are those prices set to none? And what you do to set the prices is you use these blocks here, which is kind of weird, right? So stone block value 10,000, cobblestone block value 100, oak wood planks block value 10 cents or a dimes, and 1 a dime for dirt. So what do you do with these to set the value? Well, let's say that we are going to set packed ice is pretty darn rare, And you know what else would be a good one? Podzol. Let's add that real quick. Right? So, put this guy in here. Oh wait, sorry. Unlock the stock. Put it in. Lock the stock. Price management. Okay. So, packed ice is pretty darn rare, as is Podzol. So I'm going to set those both equal to 100 per block, right? So I come over and I pick up my cobblestone and I mouse over the packed ice and I left click. It adds 100. Now the price has changed to $100. Now let's say I want the Podzol as 100 again. Now, I want Podzol to actually be $80 instead, right? So I come up with my oak logs, and if I left click with the Podzol again, it's raising the price by 10 cents every time. You can see that in chat. I don't want to raise it by 10 cents. I want to lower it. So you start right-clicking instead to lower it, which is pretty cool. I think that's a great way to do it. So I'm just kind of spamming right-click here. I didn't see a $1 block. That would be a nice addition, I think, because doing it 10 times for the dollar is a little hard, but we're down to 90. We're just going to keep doing this until we get down to 80. Now, this is pretty expensive because it's per one block. I'm going to make the hay bales pretty cheap. Those are kind of annoying to get, though, so you never know if you want them, because, I mean, it's 9 wheat per. So there's $80. So let's make the hay bales pretty cheap. I want you to be able to get a lot of them. So let's make them like $5. It's significantly different than Podzol and packed ice, right? Now, nether quartz, I think, is one of those items in the game that should be a little bit easier to come upon, because they're used in comparators and because they're giving comparators more and more uses these days. I'm going to make these $5 as well. Mossy cobblestone. Mossy cobblestone's pretty cheap, it's not that hard to come by mossy cobblestone. I mean, you just find like one jungle temper and you're set for quite a while. So I'm just gonna put it at an arbitrary number. These can all be tweaked and changed later, of course. 8. Anyways, we'll now click back, which is the red wool, and if we now escape here. When we go in, now get out of manager mode, and we go in here, you can see here it is. So I can buy ourselves some packed ice for $100 each, $5 each for the hay bale, right? $80 for the Podzol. And we're getting those blocks, so the store's up and running, which is great. Now, let's see so very quickly we are going to now do this last shop. So the way I have things set up, everyone who joins the server gets $10 and $10 and everyone who and also there's this whole like banking system in the mod that I don't really understand yet. Not in the plugin, rather. I keep doing that. I don't really understand that yet, so we're not gonna touch that yet. But eventually, there's an interest system, which I believe is for the banks. So I would like to set up, and this is all for craft economy. So, and this they said it's going to come in one of the future versions. So maybe once the server goes to 1.8 and everything like that, maybe I will set up a banking system where people can cash their $10 and eventually gain interest and reach more money as a way to get money. But I don't know. For now, it's going to be selling stuff in the selling shop. So there's gonna be one shop to sell stuff in, and I was looking through the items, and I'm not quite sure what it is that I want to sell. I don't really want to do diamonds and iron and gold and stuff like that, because then people would spend too much time not getting tools, not getting you know, other stuff like that, not getting armor on their own. They would just sell it all and buy it all, which I don't want people to do. I want this to be an added feature, not the main feature of the game. So, you know, I want building to stay the same and stuff, so I didn't want it to be building blocks. So I'm looking, what is it? What do I want people to be able to sell for certain amounts of money? It has to be something they can get. And I think I've settled on mob loot. That's pretty exploitable. So, you know, all you need is one farm of that kind of mob, and all of a sudden you have infinite monies. So mob loot was something that I don't really like, but, you know, a nether star, if you don't need a beacon, would be a great idea, I think. If you don't need a beacon, a nether star is a perfect example of, it's a perfect example, because if you don't need a beacon, you can really you know, get a lot of money off that. I'm thinking, you know, it's possible that books as well could work, because you might enchant a book that you don't want, so then you can sell it. You can't really make fish farms, so those are a possibility as well. Cooked salmon, cooked fish, and puffer fish, as well as clownfish. Actually, those can be used as food, so maybe just pufferfish and clownfish. Okay, it's a new use for fishing. Good. The trick is to make it something that you can't mass produce really easily, but also isn't, you know, a store where you sell all your useful items. So the items have to be hard to come by, but also relatively useless. So I guess what I'm saying. Whoa, thunder! There aren't that many items that fit this category. Bottles of enchanting, you'd have to get a villager to use. That's a possibility. The other thing that I think I decided I was going to use is, where are they? Emeralds, because emeralds are kind of hard to come by. You have to sell. You have to, you know, do villagers really. And I think that what I'll do is make it so that one emerald is worth $1. So even if you do massively farm villagers, you won't get that much money. And that's good. I want people's balances to stay pretty low. And that's intentional, because I want them to, you know, all the prices here that I'm doing now are just for example, so they're not final, but I want people's balances to stay low. So, /trader, create, sell stuff here. That's a bad name, but like I said, now I can't change it, so I guess we're stuck with it. Unlock the stock. First we go over to here and click sell stock. Wait. Buy stock. Yeah, so now the shop is going to be buying stock. Right, that's right. Okay. So we are going to want emerald. Unlock the stock. We're going to sell emeralds. They're going to sell pufferfish and clownfish and nether stars. Oh, damn, there's no way to center those. Oh, well. Load stock. Price management. Okay, so same deal. Let's, like I said, this is going to be worth 1. So it's very cheap. And pufferfish. I think nether star is going to be worth quite a bit, like 300. And then I think these both are going to be worth a little less than that. They really need a $1 one. You don't have to spam the button. But this is pretty much it. I've been recording this episode. This is going to be a long one, but it's good. It's a nice introduction. So let's just settle this on like 85 or something. Right, 85, and then this one, pufferfish. I don't know what the drop rates of these fish are, so of course I could just slam this guy down to 0 and say pufferfish are arbitrarily worth a lot less than clownfish. I don't know if they're more common. I feel like I've caught more pufferfish than clownfish before, so maybe that's worth it. Like, let's bring this up to $8. Just random. And punch them to get out of management mode. So, let's check the balance again. Money. We have 989,490, which is kind of random, but let's just get like let's get another star. And I put this, I clicked it in my inventory, sold it for 300. And now, if you look, I now have $300 more. And I apparently have 6 dimes, which I think dimes are going to be pretty useless. I'm going to get rid of those. So, I mean, that's how the shops are going. I can set those up on my own now. We can tweak all the prices and everything like that. That will be pretty good for that. So let's just see. We have weapons, we have armor, we have blocks. I think the emeralds are probably going to be the food and crops, you know, so if you want everything you can start a farm with, if you really can't find any carrots or potatoes, stuff like that. And redstone might be redstone supplies, because you never know if you need a nice big redstone project and you don't have enough sticky pistons yet because you don't have a slime farm. Well, maybe buy it at the shop, right? Just a little added something. And hopefully this will enhance the vanilla play and also make it so that you know, if and stuff like that. So next time we're probably gonna get to the plot world, I would say. Hopefully stuff like that will come next, because that's pretty important, and from there we'll move on to the PvP games, and I don't know how that's gonna go. That is gonna involve a lot of coding on my part in an area that I've never coded in. We'll see. Alright, so I'd love to see your feedback on this. Again, actually, I don't know if I ever said this before, but all the links to all the plugins that I've been using, it will always be, an updated list of what I'm using will always be in the description of the videos. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time.